Now with contest mode being disabled in the Vow of the Disciple Raid, I know a bunch of people are going to be jumping in and looking for different pieces of gear and weapons that they should be using throughout the different encounters. So I just wanted to share the stuff that I used on our contest mode clear and what I personally thought was really helpful to our team. We're just going to break down all of the 3 different types of weapons that I used and also the mods that you guys can use on any character, because there were a couple general mods that really helped us finish the final boss phase. That was a huge DPS check, and just changing a couple mods around really helped us out and got us through it. Let's go ahead and start looking at our kinetic weapons. Now, the weapon that I used pretty much the entire time, except for the 2 boss encounters, was the Wither Horde. There is just so much ad clear in this game, and with this thing, is one of the best at it, and also you could use it for single target stuff as well if you just hit them directly. So I just thought this was an incredibly versatile weapon and really helped us out in terms of ad clear. And then for any of the boss phases, I ended up just swapping the Wither Horde out for the izanagis burden, because what I would do is shoot my izanagis and swap with an auto loading rocket, explosive light, specifically the Palmeria here. Those were pretty much my main weapons for any of the boss fights. Now, if you guys aren't comfortable with that and you guys want a damaging special, the Thoughtless is really good with firing line. Also, enhanced overflow makes it really easy. You guys don't have to do any sort of like special reloading with it, because you can get, I believe it's like 17 rounds in the mag or something around there. So if you guys are looking for kinetics, those are pretty much the ones that I use the entire time. Now, in terms of our energy weapon, this was kind of what I used as my primary weapon. Funnel Web was definitely my most used throughout the entire thing. The only time I swapped this off was the symbol encounter, basically the first real encounter, because there were unstoppable champions. So I swapped to a palindrome just so I could stun them and also get some still decent ad clear. But for the most part, Funnel Web is going to be your best bet. And then depending what you're running in these 2 slots, obviously blinding grenade launchers are huge, especially if you can get blinding auto loading. That is going to be one of your best combos. Blinding was huge in this raid just because there were so many ads, and it's really nice to keep them at bay while you buy yourself some time. And then another kinetic weapon that I ended up using at the very tail end of the Caretaker boss fight was the Outbreak Perfected. I know a lot of people have ammo issues there because you can only deal a certain amount of damage to him as you go through the 3 phases, so you can't just kill him in one. And we were running out of ammo at the end, but you have time to actually swap weapons. So I was just swapping off my izanagis and throwing on this Outbreak during the final stand portion. And I think it was essential for us getting through that fight. We actually just barely got through it when we all swapped to Outbreak, because we were essentially all out of ammo. And then, like I said, the Palmeria was my most used heavy weapon with the izanagi swap. In my opinion, this is some of the best DPS that you can do on all of these different bosses in the game. And also the final boss where you need to keep moving. It is just very nice because you shoot and then move with both weapons, and it really helped me stay alive during that final boss encounter. Otherwise, if somebody in your team is not running a Gala Horn, I highly recommend it. Just be that one person who runs it, because it's really going to help out people like me who are running the Palmeria. The ad clear out of the Gala Horn was huge, and obviously if you guys are doing a boss DPS phase, that's going to be extra DPS as well. But mostly for the ad clear, that 3rd encounter where you're going through the different rooms, kind of like a gauntlet, that is essential. This thing helped a ton with just clearing all the different ads for our relic holders. But if izanagi's rocket swapping is not really the playstyle for you, do not be afraid to just throw on like a linear like Reed's Regrets or a sleeper simulant. We actually had a lot of people using linears in our final boss fight, which was our biggest DPS check, and now without contest you can definitely use either of those 2. So the mods that I ended up using pretty much the entire time except for the final boss fight, which we'll go over at the end of this mod section. So I was using Font of Might, Well of Tenacity, Reaping Wellmaker, Volatile Flow, and Seeking Wells. I thought this was amazing for just all scenarios. It helped me stay alive. It was Wells on command, and it was insane ad clear with Volatile Flow. Now there is the Fragment as well. I'm going to just kind of include this in the mod section, but picking up an Orb Power grants Devour. This was awesome once the World's First was completed. This helped out a ton as you guys were going through, especially that 3rd encounter where there's, like I said, a ton of ads. This thing is going to help you guys stay alive, which was honestly the hardest part of that 3rd encounter. And then if you are running the Explosive Light Palmeria, you can pick up orbs when you're at full super, so you can always be getting yourself Devour. And then the mods that were essential for our final boss fight, that was High Energy Fire, elemental charge, and taking charge, because during that final boss fight, you need to keep moving. You can't sit in a well, you can't sit next to a bubble. He's probably going to destroy the bubble. So just having that 20% extra damage for free throughout the entire damage phase was huge. It was essential for us for getting through that boss fight. We did not have enough damage without this. So I highly recommend putting this on for that, because it's just free damage. There's some thrall that you guys can kill before the damage phase actually starts, so you can just guarantee that you have high energy fire for the entire damage phase. And then the final really nice mod that I was using that I forgot to mention was the Devouring Depth. So casting your Void Super while you're critically wounded or benefiting from Devour increases your damage with that super. And now with the newly unlocked Fragment, we can actually get Devour on any class incredibly easily, especially if you're running Explosive Light on your heavy. You guys can just pick up an orb and you will have Devour, and then you can cast your super for 30% more damage on it. Yeah, hopefully these different gear setups really help you guys out. I thought this raid was amazing, and I'm really excited for a bunch of people to be jumping in now that contest mode is gone. But if you guys did enjoy the video, found it helpful, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We got a bunch more on the way, but enjoy your raids, and I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next video. See ya.